Okay, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. Today I'm reviewing an awesome update from channel favorite Monta. Now what they've done is they've released a premium NATO, and man, when I say premium, yeah, I'm talking Monta level premium NATO here. Of course, the Monta brand is really known for their watches, and their sister brand, Everest, is known for their straps. Now, one thing that Everest doesn't do is make NATO straps. But the cool thing is, if you've ever thought, what if this outstanding kind of iconic epic brand that makes the best rubber straps for Rolexes and leather straps and whatnot, and what if they made a NATO strap? And the cool thing is, this is a strap that a lot of people can just, I mean, it doesn't need to necessarily go on one of these watches. It's just an outstanding strap. You've seen I've done plenty of videos about premium NATO straps here on the channel. I'm a big fan of the NATO. I think it's a nice option just because they're so versatile. And they're just, they give you a certain aesthetic that I think there's not a lot of straps out there that can do that. It doesn't care, right? It's really something that's a functional piece, but at the same time, it's just such a stylish thing. There aren't a lot of people that will generically necessarily wear a NATO strap on their watch. It's something that some thought goes into, and it's normally shows a little bit of passion. So kind of in the background of this video, I figured why not show the Monta Triumph and of course the Ocean King version 2 there with the outstanding new diver from them, which is just an overhaul of their original outing with the Ocean King, which is just, you know, still probably one of the best dive watches I've ever handled on this channel. And then this new prototype, of course, is no different. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at this stripe. So as you can see here, really beautifully done, super nice and tight stitching on the nylon itself, and these holes are really great, really nicely sealed, you know, not super fray or anything like that. And then the thing that really stands out is this outstanding hardware. Beautiful, really nice, you know, kind of reflective in the design of the, you know, standard 3-link kind of oyster style. And then you have the nice sliding keeper. Here they put the sliding keeper on this end. A lot of times you'll see the sliding keeper on this side. This is, I'd say, more akin to the style of NATO straps that Haviston, another channel favorite, have done, where they put the sliding keeper on this side, which actually I think changes the geometry of the way that you wear a NATO strap in an awesome way. So again, not just beautifully executed, but also beautifully designed and innovative from that standpoint. And I have a longer, you know, normally I like longer straps because I have a 7 1/4 inch wrist, especially for NATO straps, to have enough tongue to fold over. Now this isn't an exceptionally long NATO, but it fits really well, I think, as you're going to be able to see, because of the sliding keeper here. It just gives me a little bit more versatility, and because it's shorter, it's not to the point where it makes me want to have to fold anything over if I don't really need to. And then because of the adjustability here, I can actually still kind of capture that tail end and stow it without actually necessarily having to fold anything over. But let's go ahead and look at this hardware here, just beautifully executed. Just look at that. Nice little bead blast finish there. So that with that matte finish, the nice thing is you don't have to worry about scratches as much. And that's just such a nice little thing. Normally you'd see something like that would be polished underneath, and then everything else brushed, basically. You know, it was originally polished and then they brushed over it. Here there's just those nice little touches, and I think, again, those little, the way the contours line up, the way this buckle, just, oh man, this thing's gorgeous. So let's go ahead and get one of the watches on here. Okay, so actually one thing to note, now that I got the bracelet off, check this out. Look at how nice these spring bars are on here. Well done, Monta. I mean, really no expense spared when it comes to these timepieces. Just gorgeously done. So let's go ahead and get this on here. I was thinking about just putting it on off camera, but for those of you that are interested, I figure I would actually show you guys how this is done. So you slide it in through here, go ahead and run it all the way up. And the nice thing is, normally what I do is I try to center, you know, I shouldn't say center, but try to kind of gauge where this is gonna lay based on right here on this keeper, and trying to like make that even out. It's kind of tough to explain, but if you watch my other videos, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. But that's something you don't have to worry about with this type of strap, because you can just butt it all the way up here to that stitch, which is really nice. There's not really any guesswork involved. And then you just run this through here. Nice thick premium nylon, and then also the keeper isn't oversized, so I mean that's, you know, that fits. That's within a nice tight tolerance there, which is really nice to see. Let me go ahead and wipe some of the fingerprints off here off camera a little bit. And then as you can see, really beautiful. I mean, that just, yeah, the thing that I really like about gray NATO straps is that they're gray and then they have kind of these blue tones to them. It's just a really cool color, and then, you know, it doesn't throw anything off. You know, it's almost like having a metal strap, because it's not a color that's gonna throw too much contrast at you, and it's also, of course, gonna go with everything. Like this would easily go with any pair of blue jeans, dark or light. So let's go ahead and see how we put this on here. So you go ahead and you find the right hole for you. Really nicely done there, and you can see there's nice, you know, there's tons of little holes there, so you can really line it up the way you want. That's gonna go straight through there. And then what I can do now is take this and just line it up right there, so you can see. And it doesn't have to be a bunch hanging off or anything like that. It just looks really good just like that. So on wrist, this thing wears really well, you know, big fan. And of course it's already a thin watch, so that's the nice thing about putting it on your Triumph, is that it's already a thin watch. So when you put on a nice thicker strap, you're not actually giving up much, because you're adding a little bit of thickness, but I mean, it's not going to sit super high off your wrist because it's not a super thick watch. So really nice there. Wears super perfectly. It looks like I actually caught a couple of frays getting it through there, which the cool thing is actually I can just singe those away with a lighter, which is really nice. And that's one of the nice things about these types of straps, is that, you know, you catch a fray or whatever, you can actually just kind of melt them away, and it's looking good as new again. It's even kind of easier to do than if you scuff a brushed link. Of course, the nice thing about a brushed link is you can just rebrush it versus trying to polish it or something like that. But the nice thing about NATO straps is you catch a fray, you can just melt it off. So let me go ahead and push this guy over here a little bit and let you guys get a look. I mean, on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, this thing wears really well. Again, the nice thing is it's not super long or super short, so it's really, I don't have to try to fold anything back. I think the sliding keeper, really, if I wanted to, I can push it further or whatever, but it's nice. It holds it in place. It does its job. You know, this loose piece here isn't going to go flying off anywhere, and it's just going to lay there pretty nicely, and it still has that sportier look, more versatile, super comfortable, of course. You know, it's a NATO strap, and I really love the bracelet on these Montas. I mean, it's an outstanding, it's one of the best bracelets in the business, and the fact that I wanted to even try out a NATO on one of these watches is telling you a lot. This is a legit NATO, and I'm super impressed. You know, and the crazy thing is they're not selling these much for much, you know, or I think it might, you know, there's some other options that are, you know, pretty affordable, but generally when you're paying for a NATO of this quality, you're going to be paying 30-40 bucks. So the fact that you're gonna get one of these for free, you know, when you order a watch. That's awesome. And then of course you can buy them direct if you did, you know, if you got an older model and whatnot, and you want one of these straps. But it's not really their main business is to be selling these straps. But I didn't want you guys to see that, you know, this is another nice addition to the fact that these watches, one, right, they come with one of the best bracelets in the business. Two, you can get it on rubber, right? And it's from the same company that manufactures the best rubber straps out there for a Rolex, right? And Everest brands. And now they're even giving you a NATO that's one of the best NATOs I've ever seen. Definitely the best hardware. As far as the nylon, I mean, that can be subjective. Some people like thinner, some people like thicker, some people like tighter weave, some people like looser, more coarse weave. So, I mean, you know, that's something that you can't objectively say, but definitely objectively, the hardware is the best I've ever seen. This stuff is just so nicely done. And just the idea to say, hey, let's put a little contouring on there to kind of replicate that that 3-link. I just think that's so cool. So anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys like it on the NATO? What do you guys think about the NATO? I know these types of straps are super popular. And definitely I'm a big fan of them. I have tons, I have bags and bags full of NATO straps from all these different manufacturers, and I can tell you that this definitely stands as one of the best. So I could easily see this NATO being used on, you know, if you have a Rolex sub, you know, or an Explorer or something like that, it'd be probably pretty cool on one of these NATOs as well. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do hit a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.